We welcome you here today to this very, very momentous and we believe historic press conference as we announce an initiative that is very important to Newark, to the young people, and to the whole city. So we welcome the press, the students, the parents, the officials, and the community partners who are here today. We'd like to first thank the library. We'd like to thank Jeffrey for offering this space and for the library being such a key partner in this initiative. And what is this initiative? This initiative is a new literacy coalition in the city of Newark, and the name of it is #NewarkReads. So we're some old folks that came together to do it, but you know, we still know about the hashtag stuff. Because we want to catch everyone's eye, and we want everyone in the city of every age, of every ethnicity, of everything to know what #NewarkReads means. And what it means is that we're going to be doing a lot more reading in this city, that we're going to be doing a lot more reading and discussing together, that we are going to engage in civic discourse about books, that we are going to have different opinions, but we're going to read and we're going to talk to each other. #NewarkReads, Literacy Coalition. Who's involved in this? So the partners who initiated this are the United Way of Essex and West Hudson and the city of Newark. We have other partners who you will hear from today. In addition to that, we have initial partners who have been key and who are key and who you will not see at the podium today, but they're very important to the initiative. Charles Payne, the Joseph C. Cornwall Center for Metropolitan Studies. Ron Chalusian from the Newark Trust for Education. Michelle Mason from the Newark Charter School Fund. So this is a citywide effort and one that we believe can be a model for the country about how people can work together and come together for a common cause, and that's to increase literacy in our city. And in case I forget, I want to take a moment and recognize the students who are here today. Today, we have students from a number of schools, from Harriet Tubman, from Great Oaks Charter, from Robert Treat Academy, and did I forget anyone's school? Is there a, say it. Thank you, Newark Educators Community Charter School. Did I forget any? Yes, ma'am. University High School, whoa, all right. So it's very important, and you know, also just as a side note, the Newark Public Schools are closed today, so I want to say a special thank you to those Newark Public School students who felt it important enough to be here with us this morning. In Mayor Baraka's State of the City address, under community education and engagement, he spoke to 3 pillars. He spoke to a mayor's book club. He spoke to adult literacy, and he spoke to birth to 3rd grade focus. And so, #NewarkReads has 3 pillars, and these are the 3 pillars. Today, we are launching the Mayor's Book Club. That is the first tier. The Mayor's Book Club for the summer is focused on grades 6 through 8. You can see on the screens to your right the 2 books that we are focusing on. The students who are here today have already registered and have already chosen and received their books. In the fall, we will kick off a high school through adult sector, and there will be the opportunity for everyone from high school through college, through adults, community in the community who are interested, in everyone in the city to read the same book, engage in conversations, engage in fireside chats with the mayor. All of that is going to happen in this year, in 2019. There are 2 more pillars, and I will just talk about them very, very briefly. The pillar that we intend to be able to roll out next year, because we have a curriculum that's now being developed, is the intergenerational adult literacy. What does that mean? It means that we plan to train a cohort of young people to go into various cohorts where there are adults who have low literacy, who want to improve their reading. And these young people will be armed with a curriculum that will help adults in our community improve their reading, make them eligible for better employment and higher levels of education, et cetera, et cetera. And the third pillar, which we also hope to launch next year, is a pillar with a focus on birth to third grade. And you will obviously be hearing more about the second and third pillars as we go on. And so, how do young people get involved in the Mayor's Book Club? So they have to register. They can register on the website. They or their parents can register on the website of the United Way, of the Newark Public Library, of the City of Newark, and we are sure that our other partners are going to make that available on their websites also. They can also register via old-fashioned hard copy at any of the libraries, and we actually have forms here where that can happen for anyone who is interested today. And so, the children of Newark, it's the children of Newark and it's the families of Newark who love to read, who are going to make hashtag Newark Reads and the Mayor's Book Club a success. And so, we will now move on to our speakers. And these speakers are representative of some of our anchor partners, and this is a growing group of investors in hashtag Newark Reads. And on a final note, if you wish to get in touch with us, Newark Literacy at ci.newark.nj.us. And after the final speaker and after the photo op, the mayor will open up for questions from the press. Thank you. And I now introduce to you the director of the Newark Public Libraries, Mr. Jeffrey Tresiak.
Good morning and welcome to the library. Happy Pride Month and Eid Mubarak for those of you who are celebrating the end of Ramadan today. Thank you all to the students who are here on your day off, some very dedicated and very vocally supportive students. So thank you all for being here this morning. I want to thank the city and in particular the mayor and the mayor's office and also city council, not only for including us in this very important initiative, but for all the support that you provide to us on a daily basis. Thank you. And thanks as well to our partners throughout the city, in particular United Way and also Panasonic, who's been very supportive not just of this initiative, but other initiatives in the library as well. So thank you. And of course our school partners and NCLC too. Thank you very much. Some of my earliest memories are of reading in the library. When I was small, about once a week we would walk to our local library. My parents insisted on it, and we were allowed to check out just 3 books. Reading was my after-school activity, and some of my favorite books at that time, The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, remain my favorite books today. We know in the library that regular reading changes lives. Reading inspires curiosity, enhances our understanding of ourselves and also those around us, and helps us to be successful in everything that we do, both personally and also professionally. We know that when we encourage children to read regularly, they become lifelong readers and lifelong learners. For those of you who haven't been to the library in a while, I want you to encourage to come back and register for a library card. You know they're free, right? We are here today at the main library, but we also have 7 branches around the city. Y tenemos empleados que hablan español y también ofrecemos servicios en inglés y en español también, y libros en español también. The library is a proud partner in Newark Reads and the Mayor's Book Club, and we're pleased to work with the city and our partners to encourage reading and a love of books. It's not just our job as the library, it's also our passion. And we're passionate as well about working with our partner institutions across the city, and including the United Way. And with that, I'd like to invite to the podium Catherine Wilson, CEO of United Way of Essex and West Hudson. Thank you.
Good morning. As the president and CEO of United Way of Essex and West Hudson, I'm excited to be with you this morning, and I'd like to thank Mayor Baraka for his leadership, as well as the generosity of Panasonic. And I also want to take a minute to thank the rest of our partners, including Superintendent Leon, who is here with us this morning. Our mission is to disrupt the cycle of poverty by convening, collaborating, and investing in strategies to improve life outcomes for children and families. With our new strategic plan focused on education and success by 8 and success by 21, we will be able to expand our impact in literacy and youth development. Through our partnership with newly established Newark Literacy Coalition, Newark Reads, we fully support the mission to increase literacy rates for all residents, especially young students who are not yet reading on grade level. The establishment of the Mayor's Book Club will help engage young people to become more excited about reading. Last week, through our My Very Own Library program, we recognized 35 Newark Public School students for outstanding achievement in reading. These students exemplify excellence and will join the book club not only to engage in reading, but to encourage their peers to become passionate about reading as well. Thank you, Mary Baraka and Panasonic for making today possible, and I look forward to reading with the students this summer and joining them as they discuss their books. As an avid reader, I look forward to this opportunity to share my passion for books with our young people. And now I'd like to introduce Reginald Lewis, the Executive Director of the Newark City of Learning Collaborative. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Good morning. Oh, you can do better than that. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Good morning. It is indeed an honor to take part in the launch of the Mayor's Book Club, a crucial first step in the work to improve literacy levels across the city. At the Newark City of Learning Collaborative, also known as NCLC, we've been working for the last 4 years to move all of Newark toward higher levels of college enrollment and completion. The bulk of our work entails building and sustaining a college-going culture to ensure that all of our kids are on track to graduate high school on time and prepared to succeed at the college level. Literacy is clearly at the heart of this work. As research bears out, students who are not proficient readers by the end of 3rd grade are far less likely to graduate from high school, go to college, and ultimately become economically successful in adulthood. That's why NCLC jumped at the opportunity to leverage our partnership with the library to join a coalition of dedicated partners who've agreed to find collective ways to create stronger readers in our city. So I'm very pleased to announce that NCLC has reallocated $30,000 of its portion of a state grant being shared with the Newark Public Library to target funds in support of Mayor Baraka's book club pilots for middle grade and high school students and young adults. We commend Chief Education Officer Tony Richardson in the coordination of the coalition, the library, and all of our coalition partners, and certainly Mayor Baraka for his vision to foster a love for reading and lifelong learning. We look forward to all the good to come from this important work. It is now my pleasure and privilege to introduce our Superintendent of the Newark Board of Education, Mr. Roger Leon.
You are the best cheerleader, and we will have you at all of our meetings and press conferences. How about that? Good morning. A couple of days ago, the work that we're doing in the My Very Own Library initiative with a United Way of Essex and West Hudson issued throughout the course of the year 10 books to students in all of our elementary schools from preschool through 8th grade. 3 books at each interval during the course of the year with a final book right before summer. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Catherine Wilson for her incredible leadership with United Way and this incredible project with our school system, so thank you. Panasonic has just played a vital role in almost every major initiative that is a part, in fact, prior to my administration and definitely since its start. Alejandra Ceja has just been an incredible leader for us here in the city of Newark, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to not only thank her, but recognize her. Please, let's give them both a round of applause. Although I began in my role on July 1, being in this room brings about certain emotions. Receiving my library card here, actually reading through periodicals, which I know is an unheard of reality today. So I digress from that moment. But to the members of the board that are here, and because of the incredible love that our mayor has for education in our city, part of what we will do in the Newark Public Schools is embed visits once again to the Newark Public Library by students at particular grades throughout the course of the year, not only to receive the library card, but obviously to be here and to be a part of history, because that is what we're in right now, a building that is filled with history. To our mayor, I'm going to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, and in particular to the boys and girls that are here, we have a mayor, not only it's because he was a principal, but because of his love for children, that most of his major initiatives are just focusing on what we are doing for our youth. In fact, because he is a mayor who was a principal, he is our education mayor. And as the superintendent of schools, I have no better partner in the work. And I just wanted to ask everyone to join me in recognizing the mayor for this initiative. So this opportunity to be a part of his book club is something that we're all in. Not only because it's an awesome thing to be able to do, not only to read what some author wrote, some life story that is going to impact your life forever, but the ability for you to also write and reflect thoughts. His abilities to write and to speak is something that we're going to seize on with this initiative. But there is some other important reason as to why this initiative at this time is so critical. The summer months are just a couple of weeks away from us. And the summer slide and the summer learning loss is an impact that happens to students all across the United States of America, and it impacts us here in the city of Newark most profoundly. 2 months away from school negatively impacts your ability to, in fact, perform to your very, very best when you return back to school. This initiative does something major. It forces everyone, the school system, our students at home, our teachers in school, to understand that learning every day is extremely important. And so I commend the mayor and his staff for this Newark Reads initiative. I implore everyone to make sure that not only that you receive this book, but that you actually read it during the summer months, and that you actually take advantage of the fact that on an upward trajectory, there is no sliding in Newark, only up, and this mayor is one of the reasons why. And I want to thank everyone for their attendance here this morning. Thank you. This is a perfect example of what we are doing in the Newark that I lead as superintendent. Catherine Esteves and Adriana Perez are two of our students from the Robert Treat Academy, and they are coming up to the microphone at this time.
Good morning. My name is Adriana Perez, and I am an 8th grade student at the Robert Treat Academy and the Student Council President at the Stephen and Ana Bato campus. I have the pleasure of introducing Ms. Alejandra Ceja, Executive Director of Panasonic Foundation, Director, Office of Corporate Social Responsibility. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Adriana, for that introduction. You know the future is bright when you look across the room and see so many student leaders in attendance. They are the reason why the Newark Reads initiative is so important. When we talk about the future of work, our student leaders are the ones that will actually define and shape that narrative for generations to come. And ensuring that they are ready for the many opportunities coming their way is what is so special about today. You've heard from my colleagues this morning about the importance of literacy and staying engaged over the summer. I wanted to take a moment to share with you why Panasonic, a global technology-focused company, is excited to support this initiative. We recognize that in order to foster innovation and creativity through technology, we need to foster a strong foundation in literacy. The jobs of the future will require strong literacy and strong STEAM proficiency. Our workforce will need leaders that can go beyond what a robot is programmed to do. At Panasonic, we believe that literacy is the key to obtaining the knowledge and problem-solving skills that are needed to compete in the global 21st century. We also believe in the power of community and collaboration. A cross-sector initiative like Newark Reads is instrumental in bringing together diverse stakeholders, like the ones we have today, to ensure progress. We are excited about the journey students will begin through the books selected to be part of this initiative that will introduce them to modern-day heroes, and with every turning page, a reminder that reading can be fun and not feel like homework. Panasonic's investment in the Newark Reads initiative is just one example of our commitment to our U.S. headquarters and our 100-year history of working towards a better life and a better world. I'd like to invite the mayor and all of our partners to join in a presentation of an $80,000 investment to Newark Reads. Following the check presentation, you will hear remarks from our great mayor and one of our local heroes, Mayor Ras Baraka. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Catherine Estevez, and I'm the president of the Student Council at Robert Reed Academy's Jackie Robinson campus. Growing up, reading has always been incredibly important to me. I've always been the type of person that is so immersed and engulfed in the world's novels create for me. But not only does literature transport me through different eras and allows me to view the world through different points of view, but it is simply fun, the ultimate pastime. Reading has been that for me, and I know it will be the same for all those who choose to join the Citywide Book Club. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a great day. I want to follow Jeff Treziak's introduction by saying Happy Pride Month and Eid Mubarak to all of the folks that are here today, that are all the believers that are celebrating, and thank Newark Public Schools for taking the day off for the Islamic community. So I still have my Newark Library card. I was looking for it in my wallet, my library card. I also have a New York Public Library card because I used to go regularly to the Schomburg in Harlem library to read pretty often. So I'll keep these in my wallet because you never know when you're gonna need them. Prayerfully, you're gonna have you guys have your library cards. If you don't have it, you should get them somewhere. Jeff will get you a library card quick. Is that right? You find it somewhere. But I want to thank all of our partners that are involved in this. Absolutely, United Way of Essex West Hudson. We appreciate the work that you're doing. Panasonic, Newark City Learning Collaborative, Newark Board of Education, the great superintendent and the work that he's doing, partnering with us all here, the Newark Public Library. Let's give it up for Newark Public Library, y'all. I just wanted to hear you do that again. And everybody else who's here supporting this literacy initiative. You know, the United States Department of Education and the National Institute on Literacy says that 32 million Americans cannot read. That's a lot of people. And that 50% of Americans can't read a book written on an 8th grade level. That's very, very, very big number. 50% of Americans can't read a book that was written on an 8th grade level. When you go into communities that are poorer and black and brown communities, that testing data gets even more staggering because of access to print-rich material, access to literacy, access to reading, opportunities to have the time to read to your children, to have children actually go to libraries to read, to participate in programs such as this, to get reading to be a part of our fundamental American culture and a part of culture, all cultures in this city, in this state, in this country, particularly outside of the school system. So we need to get people to read outside of the traditional opportunities that they have to read inside of a classroom where they're being forced to read. We need to allow people the opportunity to read as fun, right? Read as adventure. The director talked about his love for The Hobbit and his love for Lord of the Rings. I read Lord of the Flies when I was a kid. I was high on Ray Bradbury and all of the science fiction material. When I got to college, my reading got a little bit more intense, a lot serious kind of reading, more nonfiction kind of reading over and over again, not just for school, but for my own edification, for the development of my own mind and the things that I became interested in. That's why I hung out at the Schomburg, or I hung out at the Moreland Spingarn Library at Howard University. So I'm telling you that reading is not just something that you do academically. Reading is something that you do to advance yourself personally, socially, intellectually, culturally. You read because reading is like eating, right? Eating helps you develop your physical strength, and reading helps you develop your mental and intellectual strength. So it's important that you do that as often as you can, and do it when people are not beating you up to make you do it, right? So read something that you like to read, something that's interesting. In fact, I would implore you to probably read more of what you like to read than what other people are trying to force you to read. It'll make reading what they want you to read easier for you to do if you read more of the things that you like to read. So I'm excited about this literacy initiative. I'm more excited about the Mayor's Book Club. I've been trying to get this Mayor's Book Club off the ground for a minute, so I'm happy that we get to do it. I get to talk about literature that I like. I get to engage other Newarkers and people who are not in Newark about topics that I think are important to all of us, no matter what culture we're in, what neighborhood we live in, what language we speak, the issues of the day, to begin to talk and engage and read those things. Because oftentimes we debate stuff and we have no idea what we're talking about because we haven't read anything. So we want to begin to read more so we can actually engage in intelligent conversations about the things that are happening around us. So I want to thank all of you lovely children for coming out here, particularly those who don't have to be here because you have a day off today. You can be home. I thank you for being here. I thank all of the adults for participating in this. And honestly, though we focusing on kids, this is about adults. Adult literacy is incredibly important for us, because how can our kids be able to read if we can't model it for them? So God bless you, and thank you for being here today. You want to ask questions? You want to come up? Any questions on topic?
I have a question. How will this, there's my phone? How will this program encourage discussion among the youth? Will there be points where children will sit down together, discuss the books that they've read?
Come on.
Thank you. So when we get to, first I'll start with the high school to adult section that will take place in the fall. With that, there will be fireside chats with the mayor. There will be opportunities for these fireside chats to be live streamed, and a number of events will be planned. For this summer, the branch libraries all have kickoffs, different dates for each branch library. There will be activities at all of the branch libraries as well as the main library around the books. And at the end of the summer, sometime in August, the date hasn't yet been determined, there will be a citywide celebration of the culmination of that particular segment of the Mayor's Book Club, and that will take place here at the main library. In addition, actually, you guys don't have them today, but for the book distribution, we will get them to you. We will have just a few thought-provoking questions on each book, just to kind of guide, we don't like to tell people what to think, just thought-provoking questions that the young people can think about as they read the book. So that's where we are right now, and we invite folks with ideas to get in touch with us. This is a developing initiative, and we need all the support and investment that we can get to make sure that this is a project that is long-lived and not short-term.
Just a quick follow-up. Can you tell me about the copies of the books? How many were made available to students in Newark? Who provided those funds? Who provided the books?
So initially, we have 500 copies. That 500 copies is just an initial pilot. We have the capacity, if the demand is there, to increase that number. And, you know, this is a pilot, so we want to be sure that it is successful and measurable and of high quality. So we started with a realistic number for each branch. Again, that can increase based on the young people in the city and their parents really getting involved. The investors are everyone who spoke. All of the speakers today are investors, as well as some of the other partners that I named who are on the steering committee.
So we're gonna lift that number up quick, right? We're gonna get that number 500 to 1,000 to 1,500 very quickly.
And just so we can be clear, I see that there's Newark Reads and there's also the Mayor's Book Club, just so we want to know if there's any difference and one is part of the other, just so we can get that. And also the ages that students can participate in the Mayor's Book Club. Just
Okay, so the, are you going to answer the question?
Yeah, I want you to do it.
No, I didn't mean you. Leah had her hand up. So hashtag Newark Reads is the name of the Literacy Coalition. There are 3 pillars. The Mayor's Book Club is the first pillar, and that's the one that we are launching today. Folks can pre-register now, and the books will actually be available no later than June 17th at all of the branch libraries, probably before then, but that's when folks can actually go and pick up the books.
And the ages that students can participate in the Mayor's Book Club, like the age range?
For the summer, it is, the books are 6th through 8th grade reading level. That does not mean you must be in the 6th through 8th grade. You know, a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grader who can read the books is certainly welcome to do that. We're not going to be asking, you know, for proof of your grade. And then the fall segment will focus on high school through adult. And, you know, what we're doing is kind of building it backwards, because those 6th to 8th graders, next year, as we continue, we'll move into the high school through adult cohort. So we'll be kind of building it backwards, and eventually all ages will be included.
This young lady wanted to know if she was gonna get some books today. So
She got her book.
we gonna well, she got a book, but we're in the library, so gotta make sure she get a library cards so you can get some more books before you walk out of here. Another question? Yes.
Talk about what is the plan to make sure that students know about the initiative and sign up, and then if there are students that want to participate but might need some support in reading, like struggling readers, is there going to be help for them over the summer so they can also participate?
Well, I know that's why we have the Newark Board of Education involved. We want to be able to use the Board of Education to begin to push this initiative out for us to the schools and to the young people in the schools so they'll know. And prayerfully, they're getting the kind of assistance that they need to get inside of those schools and in after-school programs where we allow opportunities for young people to engage and read at the same time. I know at our Centers of Hope and places like that, we have places where kids can get assistance in reading. And they put the link up so you can register to be everywhere so people will be able to see that. We're going to have that around as much as we possibly can so people know it is actually taking place and going on. Yep.
Okay, I just had one quick, I just wanted to clarify with the summer reading, so I'm 6th or 8th grade, I go in, I pick up a book from somewhere after I register. Once I get that book, I'm looking forward to a date that hasn't been set yet to meet, or is summer not included in that, it's just fireside chats in September?
Each branch library will have their own activities. So wherever the book is picked up from, they will be able to tell you the dates of their particular activities. surrounding the book. And we're partnering as much as possible with the activities that the libraries already have. So we're not recreating, but we're partnering with the library, particularly on events.
Okay, and then is the mayor involved in any of, like, where will we see the mayor with the kids? Is that happening at some point?
That will definitely happen at the culminating event here at the library. The rest depends on the mayor's availability to the schedules of each branch.
And prayerfully, you guys are interested in checking out the kids when I'm not around. Yeah. I mean, if that's no more questions, thanks everybody. Oh, I got a question in the back here.
Thank you. I'm from the YMCA, and there are many central organizations and groups that actually already have the children involved in our programs during the summer. Many of us do participate in different reading initiatives as part of our curriculum as well. What do you suggest that we do in order to, maybe dovetail what we're already doing, or start some things that we're not doing in terms of literacy activities in our camps, be they overnight or day or any other programs throughout the city? How can we get involved?
So before, I think you're itching to say something about that. But I would say that, first of all, there are a lot of people that are already doing literacy kind of initiatives. I mean, schools, after-school programs, community groups are doing literacy initiatives. This is an opportunity to push a citywide literacy initiative the same way we push any other thing that we think is important to us in a citywide level. We want to do that, raise the level of literacy in the city to that caliber, so everybody is focused laser-like on literacy in this town. And we would implore you to have kids register, to get books, to be a part of what we're doing, to use what you have already, the structure you have already, infrastructure you've already set up, to engage what we're doing, to supplement what you're doing. It doesn't have to supplant what's happening that you're already doing, but to kind of supplement what's also taking place so kids can see that there are other kids around the city who are doing the same kinds of things, to make it a cultural a kind of thing that's taking place in the city, to shift the paradigm that already exists, right? So I believe that if kids in the South, there's kids in the North, kids in the East, kids in the West, that we're all reading, I think it's easier to get kids engaged in this process. And then a question about setting up opportunities for them to have a discussion. I mean, those things we should do, but I honestly believe that our children know how to talk to each other. And once we get them engaged in reading and moving in this direction, they'll find the people to have these conversations with, their peers and everybody else, particularly when they find out they're reading the same materials. I think kids will have those discussions about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank everybody for coming out this morning.